Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, check.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Some involvement there. So.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, mic check.
I think we're going to continue to see real momentum in this campaign, hopefully leading to a great victory on November the 8th.
Okay. It's like so recovering from the rain last month. Damn it, Ari!
This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
I think we're going to continue to see real momentum in this campaign, hopefully leading to a great victory on November the 8th.
Republican Vice Presidential candidate Mike Pence made another campaign stop in Reno today, trying to build support in our home state. Coverage of campaign 2016 tops Channel 2 News at 5 o'clock. Well, as you know, Nevada is a battleground state that's expected to be critical come Election Day. Good evening, I'm Landon Miller.
And I'm Ariana Bennett in for Kristen Remington tonight. Thank you for being with us. Well, the Trump campaign is trying to gain some ground on Hillary Clinton here. Paul Nelson spoke with Mike Pence today and joins us now live with that. So, Paul, what was the governor's focus at today's rally?
Well, if there's one thing both campaigns agree on, it's the importance to get out and vote, Ari. Governor Pence hit on a lot of different topics that he says separates Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, including foreign policy, health care, and Supreme Court nominees.
Don't be fooled, men and women in Nevada. The race is on. It's all tied up here in Nevada, and we're going to fight all the way to the finish.
The latest polls show Donald Trump may have an uphill battle in Nevada, but Governor Mike Pence says he likes the odds.
The reason the polls are so tight here is because Donald Trump has really given voice to the frustrations and the aspirations of the American people who know we can be stronger, who know we can be more prosperous.
With premiums under the Affordable Care Act expected to rise an average of 25% next year, Pence says an overhaul is needed.
We're going to repeal Obamacare lock, stock, and barrel, and we're going to replace it with the kind of health care reform that focuses on lowering the cost of health insurance instead of growing the size of government.
Also at stake in this election is the balance of the Supreme Court, which the Indiana governor says will look much different under a Clinton administration.
She wants a Supreme Court that's legislating from the bench, in effect, instead of upholding our Constitution.
Pence says President Obama has weakened America's place in the world and says Trump's foreign policy will change that while strengthening the military.
Lowest troop levels of the Army since 1940, smallest Navy since 1916. We cannot have 4 more years apologizing to our enemies, abandoning our friends, and hollowing out the arsenal of democracy.
With the election just 13 days away and early voting underway, the results are in the hands of the voters.
If you go out and make sure that Nevada is ready, we will make Donald Trump the 45th President of the United States of America, and we will make America great again.
Pence also reinforced the idea of cutting taxes and making new trade deals. As you know, the VP candidate was also in Reno a week ago. He says he likes the enthusiasm here and hopes that builds momentum by Election Day. Covering Campaign 2016 live in the studio, Paul Nelson, Channel 2 News.
All right, thanks, Paul. And before Governor Pence spoke this morning, Democrats made a campaign stop outside the GSR to encourage Nevadans to vote early.
This contest really is very tight in Nevada, and people need to get out and early vote so that nothing happens on Election Day to prevent them from voting.
A Democratic congressional candidate Chip Evans and state Senate candidate Julia Ratty were on the DNC Forward Together bus, which stopped there at 8 a.m. In a statement, the Nevada Democratic Party called Trump's campaign, quote, dysfunctional. And we have new details of Vice President Joe Biden's campaign stop in Reno coming up this Saturday. He will be hosting a rally with Catherine Cortez Masto at Wooster High School at 2:30 p.m. Doors for that open at 12:30, and we have a link for you to RSVP at KTVN.com.
Well, Donald Trump took a break from campaigning today to open his new hotel in Washington, D.C. Now, Trump, appearing with his family, cut the ribbon at his new luxury Trump International Hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, just down the street from the White House.
Under budget and ahead of schedule. That's what we did.
But Hillary Clinton accuses Trump of using undocumented workers to make his project cheaper. She spent the day campaigning in Florida, where she celebrated her 69th birthday.
Listening to Donald Trump's campaign, I truly doubt that he has ever read the Constitution. Or if he did, back in school, he certainly doesn't remember it.
And with just 13 days until Election Day, the Real Clear Politics average of polls shows that 53% of Americans surveyed have an unfavorable view of Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump has an even lower rating. He is currently at a 60% unfavorable rating.
Well, you may have noticed that as these campaign visits continue here in northern Nevada, there's also been an increase in law enforcement on our streets. Ryan Canaday spoke to the Reno Police Department today and joins us now in the newsroom with the story. So, Ryan, can we expect this increase in police presence to continue?
You know, Ari, as long as the presidential race and Senate races are still happening, you will continue to see a lot of police on the roads. What happens is each local police department is meeting the demands of the Secret Service by providing the extra help that's needed during these campaign visits.
We may need traffic, canine, bomb squad, things like that to make the candidates safe when they arrive.
Today, when Governor Mike Pence arrived, the RPD Traffic Division lined Rock Boulevard to safely escort his motorcade to the GSR for his campaign visit, a task they've had to do a lot lately for these politicians. The department says they budget in the cost to pay for extra staff during the election season, but also do the best they can to adjust officers' schedules to avoid an excess of overtime funds. RPD could use anywhere from 30 to 50% more units to fill the positions they need during a visit. That way they can also keep their regular staffing up for daily patrols.
We're just trying to do as much as we can and serve the public as well as we can.
You should also be aware when driving around the city streets, if you come across a temporary road closure because a politician is visiting, RPD says just be patient for the road to reopen. Covering Campaign 2016 live in the newsroom, Ryan Canaday, Channel 2 News.
All right, Ryan, thank you for that. Well, it is a powerful ad with some pretty big claims. Take a look at this one. You've probably seen it on one of your television sets, claiming that Congressman Joe Heck votes against women's rights. Well, we're putting this ad, it's called Another Politician, to the test in our reality check.
Who does Congressman Heck think he is?
Heck wanted to make abortions illegal,
even in cases of rape or the health of the mother.
Okay, so this one's misleading, and just a warning, it will get complicated. Here we go. In 2012, Congressman Heck voted for the District of Columbia Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act. Yes, it would have prohibited abortions in Washington, D.C. after 20 weeks of pregnancy, but if the life of the mother was at risk, the abortion could take place. There is no language in the bill that would exempt a pregnancy for rape.
Heck would take away our rights.
Heck wants to pass a law that would criminalize doctors.
This is misleading too. You gotta take the claim with a grain of salt. So we're still talking about the same D.C. Act. If the pregnancy is 20 weeks or greater, a physician could not perform the abortion unless it puts the woman's life at risk, not her health. And ladies and gentlemen, those are two very different things. A doctor could be fined or face more than 2 years in jail if they performed the abortion. By the way, it doesn't really matter because this failed in the House 220 to 154.
He was willing to shut down the government over Planned Parenthood funding.
This is true. Last September, Congressman Heck supported House Resolution 421. That would stop funding for Planned Parenthood for 1 year if they agreed not to perform any abortions, with some exceptions during that year. It passed, but Republican lawmakers, including Joe Heck, wanted to attach the funding to a different bill that would keep the government offices open during the fiscal year. That began on October 1st, but that too did not happen.
Heck even opposes ensuring equal pay for women.
This final claim is misleading, and here's why. Congressman Heck, along with other House Republicans, voted against and blocked consideration for the Paycheck Fairness Act. This was in May of 2013. However, in a Las Vegas Sun article from August 2014, Heck said in part, quote, "I firmly believe that everybody doing the same job at the same level should get the same pay," end quote.
By the way, this ad was not from Catherine Cortez Masto. Instead, it was made by the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee. So to see this reality check or some other ones that we have done in the past, just click on the Campaign 2016 tab at KTVN.com. And with less than 2 weeks to go before Election Day, please stay with Channel 2 News and CBS News for continuing coverage now through November 8th.
Well, this just into our newsroom tonight. We have officially learned the cause of the Little Valley Fire. The fire, which started in the early morning hours of October 14th and destroyed 23 homes, was indeed caused by a controlled burn which took place there the week before. The Department of Conservation and Natural Resources said they received a report from the state fire warden which said, quote, "The Little Valley Fire was caused by an escape from the Little Valley prescribed fire on October 3rd through 7th. In a statement, the Nevada Division of Forestry, which monitored that prescribed burn, said, quote, "The Nevada Division of Forestry is deeply moved by and concerned with the tragic impacts to the residents of West Washoe Valley. NDF has worked closely with many of the residents over the years and has offered conservation crews and natural resource specialists as part of the recovery team," end quote. Now, like we mentioned, this report just came out, so of course we will have more on this coming up at 6:30.
17 different Washoe County schools all had leaks in their roofs following our recent round of storms. This was one of them. I'm Zach Mooney. We'll have what it's going to cost the district coming up.
The Reno Municipal Court is having a winter clothing drive. I'm Angela Schilling. Coming up, I'll tell you how you can help out.